put it up. I was like, should I put it on? And I was like, nah. So I haven't. But like I've told a couple people and shit like that, and so it's been like, oh, okay. And it's been very, very good. And the funny thing about it is too, it's like that's more of a thing. And we were talking about this too last night, actually.
You and her.
Me and her were talking about the announcement of the engagement. I go, that's more of like, because she told like as many people as she could, because she was so happy.
Right.
And I'm happy too. But it's like, for me, I feel like I'm already happy because I made somebody happy, or the person I wanted to make happy.
Yeah.
So that's all I really care about. So telling other people is not my biggest priority, but to her, she's like, she likes that because it's for the woman, you know.
Hey man, when I had a baby, I didn't tell anybody, man. My family found out, man, when I think she might have been like 7 months or something, and there's people that still don't know, man, and it's cool like that. It is like, yo, I leave stuff a mystery like that, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yo, some stuff is just for you if you want it to be. Ain't nobody's business unless you want it to be.
Well, it's funny because we had this conversation about that because, like, I go, because she thought I wasn't proud of her. Like she felt like, what's going on? But I was like, no, I go, you know what it is? And I try to explain to her, and I actually came with a good explanation because my friend told me that. So a long time ago, when I took off to Europe and I fucking, stole all that money, I remember my buddy telling me who's living there, and he's from America, and he was like, and he goes, you're gonna go back to the States, and he goes, and everything you just did is so crazy, because I'm like 19 years old,
Yeah.
He's
living.
like, it's so unbelievable, it's so crazy. He goes, people are gonna ask you about it, and they're gonna be like, so how was your trip to Europe? How was it? And then you start just telling them everything, and you tell them everything, and he's like, you're so excited and happy about it that you only hit these certain points because you want them to be entertained by your story. He said, but they really don't really care to know every single detail. They kind of like zone out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And he goes, and it's going to get dull because you're going to keep answering this question constantly. And you're just going to hit these points, and it's not going to be the same excitement, enthusiasm. You're going to lose it every time you tell the story. He said, so keep some of these things for yourself. He goes, don't tell them every single great thing that you did on the trip, because after a while,
that's interesting.
They're uninterested, because it's like they're looking at you just so you can stop talking.
But you're talking about random people hearing it for the first time?
Random people about Europe or about the engagement?
I'm telling about Europe.
Or friends.
That goes against everything that we were raised for in our career. We're supposed to be able to tell the same story with the same enthusiasm, and the people are supposed to receive it as if we're telling it the first time.
Yeah.
So that's a contrast
it's funny,
to what we do.
But it's like, because what we do is we cut the fat. So we only get to the most interesting points, quick, timing, boom, 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 boom.
So is that what this person told you to do?
No, but like when you do that, like you said too, so we're so good at that now. Now that we're trained for that, we keep the interest, we cut the fat, we know how to do it in conversations, blah, 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 blah. But more times than not, like, podcasts are great because we're storytellers. We kind of don't, I want to get into like the details of it and tell you the whole gist and paint this picture for you.
Right.
As a comic, when you're on stage, you only have, when you first start, you only have 5 minutes, then you have 10 minutes, and you get to 15 minutes. So it's like you got to keep it tight.
Yeah.
But when you're long form, you could just, especially when you feel something so good and so enthusiastic, and then you start getting to these small points, especially when you talk in conversation, you start to only get to those points that people are interested in, and you
That's
skip
a good
over.
method. But you know what? It sounds like what you're saying is maybe your fans want the fact.
Yeah.
Like the people listening want the long version of the story, and or not. Why don't you tell us right now if you're listening?
Yeah, right. Callers, call in. No, but yeah, no. So as I was saying that, I was like, so if I keep telling people about the engagement and about like the important parts, they're gonna pretend to be happy, and they're gonna be like, oh, that's great, and they want to move on to the conversation. So it's like, then I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it's not even that cool, or it's not even that cool anymore. After a while, it's like,
oh man, that's great.
You know what I
you're
mean?
saying after you tell the story, a lot of times you're gonna have less enthusiasm. You're gonna be like, I'm getting fucking married.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how was Europe? It was cool, man. It was cool. It was something. We did it. I did it. It was great, man.
Yeah.
Then you start shitting on it. Then you start diminishing it too, because you're like, people don't seem as interested. So you're like, Paris sucks. Actually, to be honest, man. There's a lot of dog shit. It does actually.
This is a process. So you're saying this is like a human process of how we go when we have a story.
Yeah.
It just starts off interesting, and then over time you tell it so much that you just don't even care about it, to the point you start shitting on your own story.
Yeah, and then that's a way that, as a comic, you could definitely see that. You can see someone's joke when they first get it, how happy they are.
Oh, yeah.
And even it's not that good, but it's like, I'm happy to show you this. And it's fucking, your enthusiasm is what gets that joke over.
I believe it.
And then after a while, when you say it so many times, you start breaking it apart, and then you start shitting on it, and like that. It's not even that great, you guys. Why am I doing this? Why am I even saying? And then you start to be funnier, and then you're like, oh, okay. And then that's how I know. For me, for the evolution of how I tell something or joke about shit. I'm sorry, I'm talking hella fast right now.
I'm doing that now. I just wrote a new joke. So excited about it. And man, listen, this is what I think. When it comes to classics in our head, we have our favorite jokes. Our favorite jokes are not always, I believe, the audience's favorite jokes. However, for something to be a classic, I always think it's the joke that people come to you and say, oh man, that joke. Or that right there.
Yeah.
Or just from the people you grew up with, they just heard it so many times because you didn't do other shit. You know?
Yeah.
So this is what I think, man. I just wrote something, right? And without even getting into it, me saying it here is a timestamp because I already put a piece of it online just because I just wanted to do it, but nobody has this. I know no one will. But man, there was one black man on the Titanic.
What?
This is a fact, and nobody has ever mentioned it. I just like came upon the research.
Really?
His name was Joseph LaRoche, man, and it was one black dude, and I have ran with this joke. And it's becoming
so
a
much there.
centerpiece. That like, it almost writes itself in so many ways, man. So it's like, I've been Tag City, like, ba-da-da-da-da, and I'm hitting it on every stage. And like, I wouldn't get into like the details of it. I think it's funny, but I feel like I said, your wheels are turning already.
As you're saying it, I'm
I
like,
can
dude.
see it.
I'm like, dude, you could tell he didn't survive.
Yeah, right. He didn't. He didn't make it. Right. He didn't make it. And it's a wild concept. And that's what I think. You know, sometimes it's that research. Sometimes it's like that little bit of history that can turn a nugget of a seed into something.
Yeah.
And people are talking about it. So I'm like, hey, man, it's going to enter the classic list. It's on there. Right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, man, especially when you get those new kids, man. When you get those new kids, you're like, oh, I can't wait to show you guys off.
Oh, it's the best. Oh, it's the best.
I always explain it, too, like when you get something, when you know something good, like I said, the enthusiasm. It's like when you're a kid and you go to show and tell, and it's like, this little thing that I have in my hand is the coolest shit you're ever going to see, you guys. I can't wait to show you. And then, and even if it's just a little fucking, like a little finger goblin, you're just so happy about it, and you're just showing everybody off it. But you were laughing earlier, Jory. Have you been to Paris or something?
Yeah, Paris sucks.
It does, right?
It's
It's ridiculous. It's crazy, man, because it's like it's super dirty and smelly, and then it's like it's not as fun as beautiful as you would think it would be. There's like
But
only
the women,
parts.
though, I bet the women are bad, though, and smelly. I'm down.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
You know what's funny is like Italy has really pretty women, and then France has are in Paris they have women that are like. They know what they walk classy. They could be ugly or not very attractive, but the way they carry themselves, you're like, damn, she's
Really?
bad. Yeah, it's like,
Hey, man.
Yeah. It's
That matters, man.
It's an essence thing.
That's like for us. Like if we would carry on some of those type of traits, man, we could enhance our own being. Man. Like, sometimes it's just posture or stature.
Yeah, as soon as we start talking like that, I do my shoulders back right now. I was like, all right.
And man, you know what? You got me excited, man, off this guy telling you about how stories evolve. Like, I can't wait to hate this Titanic joke. Because wait till I start shitting on the black dude for being on the ship. Like, this is going to be a complete evolution in about 10 months when I hate this joke.
That's so funny because now you say that like shitting on this dude. Like, why? How did you get on this boat, dog? Like, why? Like, why?
Yeah. Like, what? Ew.
No, it's great too, man. Especially when you get in that writing, that mode, and then it could be that piece, and then all of a sudden it clicks onto another piece of a joke that you had 17 years ago that you're like, you know what? Now that I'm a better writer, actually this works. Now that I say it in this tone with this now, oh man, it turned into 15 extra minutes.
It's that.
Yeah.
I think, though, you're just smarter.
Yeah.
I think you're a more evolved human. You know more, and you have the fundamentals to use to why you got here. And I think that's what makes it all
I remember
easier.
One time we were at Luna's. Were we in front of Luna's? I think we were in front of Luna's over in Sacramento. And I was like, You told me you had some show that you were going to do, and I was like, yeah. I go, how'd it go? And you're like, it went good. And I was like, and I had said something like, I go, I bombed the other day. And then you go, I don't bomb anymore. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't bomb anymore. And you're like, no, I don't. You're going to understand. You're going to get there to a point where it's like, you know not how to bomb anymore. And but it might not be the set that you want, but you know not how to bomb anymore. And I didn't get it until like maybe about a year later. I was like, oh, that's what he meant as being smarter. It's like, like I know how to get myself out of a hole, and I know this set isn't going as the way I want it to, but I know how to get out of this set without fucking, with the crowd still liking it and entertaining them.
Hey man, I feel way differently about that. Probably now.
Yeah, because this was years ago. This is probably about 10 years ago.
If I was in front of Lunas, man, that's like probably 10 years ago plus.
10, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because I've known you since I was 17, 18. I started stand up at 16. I met you and a couple of those cats like on our first run around in Sacramento. Then I took off for about a good 7-8 years. And then and with that time, man, you went on Comic View?
Yeah, man. I did Comic View. I did
Showtime.
I did the Comics Without Borders with Russell, right?
Yeah.
Russell Peters, right. I did that. I did some Byron Allen shit, you know. Yeah, man, it was just little things, man. I was working spots.
You did two of the things that I've always that I were my goals. They were my goals, and now I can't do them. Well, hey, Comic View was one of my big goals. That if Def Comedy Jam was around, that was another one too. All my goals are gone.
Yeah, right.
Fucking David Letterman.
I did.
Did David Letterman,
right.
And you did The Office.
I did season 8 of The Office. Right, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's a wild list, man. It's interesting, and I bombed on television. Okay, man, but I don't mean like stand up. I mean, hey, man, this is my theory or feeling about bombing. Everybody's going out talking about, oh, I don't bomb. But I feel like now, this is me currently. In order to grow, you have to take risk.
Yeah.
Which say that you may bomb taking risk. And I feel like I'm an artist. And I just feel like if you're not taking that's what bombing is to me. Is when I am afraid to try something. Because then I'm like, what's wrong? What is this fear? Then I start feeling weak. Like, do I need to drink so I can just say whatever the fuck I want to say? Like, what is the fear? And to me, that's bombing if I just go out to kill with all the shit I know that's going to work already.
Yeah.
I know it works. I did it the last month or so. I know it's going to rock. So for me, if I don't try something, to me, and I live in that fear, that's bombing.
Yeah.
Now, I get it where people will see if you on a show and you don't get no laughs, I see that. But like I was saying in my earlier version of myself, I think at a certain point, man, you become so talented that your off nights are good nights to them.
Yeah.
Like my off nights are still very skilled performances.
Yeah, because it's golf, like you're a better golfer now.
Yeah.
It's like, because that's what I was thinking too. Like, well, because like we were talking about last week too with Butch about high risk, high reward. That's what the whole thing, that's what the whole comedy is. It's like, I got to try this out. And like, the bombing now, like you said too, it's like, it's little tiny in between the set bombs. Like, fuck, that didn't hit the way I wanted to.
Yeah, that's that.
But I know how to tweak it, so I know how to get this back, and I know how to get that back. Where it's not bombing the whole set. Because when I was talking to you that night, I bombed my whole fucking set, dude. Man, it was terrible. But like, I needed those things to bomb. I needed to bomb because that was another thing too. Me and Jay were talking about this. I was on his podcast. Jay got a podcast called fucking Boo.
Yeah.
And it's just bombing stories. Every comic comes on and talks about a bombing story. And you were in my bombing story actually, because I was like, so the story happened was I came back after a 7-8 year hiatus, and 6 months in, Dennis Martinez was like, you should go into this comedy competition. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Remember that?
You didn't bomb at that show, did you?
Yeah.
Not the one, was it in Stockton?
It was in Modesto. It was at a theater. Remember
at
we did
the
theater?
Fox Theater.
Yeah.
So, you bombed that night?
I bombed the fuck, because you were there. Oh, dude, I bombed.
I didn't know you bombed that night.
Yeah, you did, because I was like, so this would happen. So what happens, I go up, and I've never done it in front of that many people that early, too. It was like, because it was like, what, 300-500, like, because it fit a lot of people.
It was a big crowd.
And that was the first time I've ever done that big of a crowd. And then my first joke hit. But it didn't hit because I didn't know timing of a theater. So I thought I bombed the joke, and I'm like, oh, so I lost all confidence. And then the roar came in.
And then the laughter came in later, right?
And it scared the fuck out of me, and like I could feel my clothes ruffle, and I was like, oh, so it shook me, and it threw me off timing, and I couldn't get, and I started stuttering, and I couldn't, get my, oh, dude, you could fucking see. I was eating shit after that. I was eating so much shit. I want to get off of this stage, and someone was taking a picture, but I lied, and I knew that wasn't the light, and I got off. And I go, yeah, someone give me the light. They're like, no one gave you the light. And I ate shit. And I remember you were the first person I seen, and you had this big Mikey Winfield smile, and you go, did you learn something?
Oh, man, what an asshole, man.
Yeah. And I go, yeah. And you go, well, then you didn't have a bad set. If you learned something, you didn't have a bad set.
Good, man. I was hoping kindness would seep in. Because I know I was an asshole, man, like a lot of years ago, man. And it was like early ego, because shit was really popping hard,
Yeah.
And it was all green lights, so I think I was just an asshole, like when I started, you know. And then life is, you grow up, you learn shit. But then I wasn't completely if I said what I said then.
No, because like I think maybe not towards me because like I had known you prior to,
right?
And I was just like, and I was coming back, and it was like, oh shit, because like we still seen each other like at slam poetry event or something it was always, and then so it was like, oh yeah, man, well I'm kind of traveling and doing my thing because I got addicted to traveling. That was my thing. Like so I stopped doing stand up. Then when I came back, someone was like, I want to travel the States and I'll go back to stand up. And then but no, it was so funny because I remember you won that competition. Kirk McHenry came in, I think, second, and I want to say Insane Wayne came in third, but Ant the Hustler was there, Doughboy from Wild 'N Out was on it. There was some kid from Transformers, and there was hella people. There was like hella motherfuckers, and but yeah, no, I was telling him about that, and I go, dude, I was like, and he was like, the question was what would you do to change, what would you do differently to change the bomb, that Jay proposes, and I'm like, I don't think I would. I needed to go through that, especially at a theater gig, because no one can really tell you the timing of a theater gig until you actually are in it.
Yeah, you gotta live it.
Yeah, because it's a wave.
Man, what's interesting is this is crazy, right? And it's probably not as crazy as I think it is, because it's in my head it is. Well, around that time, maybe for the next how many years afterwards, I couldn't lose competitions.
Yeah.
Because the joke, I had two of the most likable jokes.
Can I guess one of them?
Ever written in history, man. Yo, what's one?
I'm going to say Subway.
Right.
Yeah. The Subway joke?
No.
The one about the bum in the Subway joke? Do you remember that one?
Nah, man.
Yeah,
I did lose a lot of memories, man. So
yeah, you had one about a bum in the Subway, a Subway sandwich and bum joke, and it was like it would kill every time, dude. I'm like that too. I have like 3 jokes that someone reminded me about, and I don't remember them at all or how it went, but I'll find it though.
Yeah, man. I had I talk about it later. It was a mini overdose, and then I think I blacked out and lost a lot of memory, man. But man, it was 2. It was the baby in the car seat.
Yeah.
And the big ass teeth, man. And those 2 jokes won me so many competitions. I couldn't lose. And I knew it.
Yeah.
Like, to believe it is like, to have it is one thing, but to believe it. So I went into every competition knowing I was gonna win.
Yeah.
Off of those 2 jokes.
Because they were clean.
They were clean.
They were clean, and they were tight, and they were polished, and it was like boom, boom,
it was
boom.
like there's no losing.
And the funny thing about it was they were bookends too, so you could do whatever you wanted in the middle because you already had them with the big teeth in the jump because that was the first one that came.
Open, right.
And then the baby car seat was either the end or like somewhere towards the middle. It's like, dang, he got him, bro. I was like, we're done, bro.
It was over.
We're done. That's the cleanest 7 minutes I've ever seen in my life. And then who was it too? It was like it was hella funny because that competition I was saying, Doughboy was on it and he was winning them too. He was winning competitions, but he was taking his shirt off.
He was ripping his shirt off.
And I don't know if you guys ever see a Wild 'N Out, but Doughboy was on. He crashed the audition and got on and was on for like a couple seasons and shit. But it was funny because he kept taking his shirt off, and people were getting, after a while, they were getting mad. Insane Wayne got mad. He goes, man, fuck this motherfucker. Insane Wayne is in a wheelchair, right? And he's like, man, fuck this motherfucker. He rolls up onto the stage and takes his shirt off. First thing over, starts with that.
Oh yeah, so he could like, right.
And then after that, every comic for like the next 3 comics kept taking their shirt off.
To steal the thunder, right? Because they didn't want him to win. Oh man,
It was fun, man.
they didn't like his creativity.
They're like, nah, man. Now you're not gonna get this one, brother.
He was just showing his stomach.
Ant the Hustler was there. I remember Ant the Hustler.
Yeah, right.
Ant the Hustler was this comic who, like, he would be at every open mic, and every time he would ask you for a ride home, but you never dropped him off at the same place. He was that dude. He was like, "Hey, you gonna have to take me over here to give me the North Highlands, bro."
Hey man, he was one of the funniest people. I don't know if he
Rest
was
in
ever
peace.
booked.
Yeah.
He was just always there at the open mic, and he was funny.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Selling DVDs too.
Selling DVDs of something.
He'd have
Movies.
bootleg DVDs, and he was like, I got them pornos too for you right here, quick. Blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you like? Who you like? What you like?
Yeah, man. But he loved it. He just wasn't ever booked.
Yeah, he wasn't ever, but he hustled his ass off and got to a show and ended up getting on it somehow. And then he would always talk a gang of shit, like, but his shit talking was so next level. He was like, he would say shit like, "I heard you got to cross your legs when you pee."
I think he would be good now as far as like what the scope of comedy is. It's like roasting the crowd, everybody's seeing it, and just, you know, going into it with whoever's there, you know, because he was
Yeah.
like a backstage roaster.
Yeah.
You know, and then he did all the impressions and stuff.
He said,
like that.
one time he was like, he said, your uncle taught you how to French kiss. And I was like, man, why is this guy I just said hi. Like,
Yeah, he was on. He was on.
But yeah, no, that, and then tell me how the Office thing come about.
Man, it's wild. So at the time, my manager was Barry Katz, right?
Oh shit, the famous Barry Katz.
The famous Barry Katz, man. We had a great relationship. And affiliation, I'm hot at the time. I did Letterman, you know, like I'm out there.
Shit, you had a TV show too on what, Fuse, no?
Yeah,
At the time,
right. I don't know if that was before or after that, but it was just, my name was circulating in a good way, and I was getting auditions. And then I get this thing. Barry's like, "Hey, I have this show if you're interested in auditioning for it. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called The Office." I was like, "Shut the fuck up, man." So he sent the sides, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, man, I like worked on them more than I normally work on it because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
And then I went to Allison Jones casting, man. Let me tell you, they book a lot of the greatest
Parks and
movies
Rec,
that are out. Yeah,
all that shit.
Right. So boom, I get there, man, and it's going well. I'm reading with her, someone else, and I'm like, this is going really well. Like I go, you know, and a lot of times with the audition, you're like, yo, I'm ready to get out of here, man. Yo, this shit can kick rocks, man. But this is feeling real good. Boom. Good audition. Thank you. Bye. Normally, you don't hear from anybody. That's just how the game works. They're like, oh, great. And they say that after everyone.
Yeah.
Even when you eat shit in the room, they're like, great work. What would he train with? And then they like, you leave and
They
you're like,
butter you
oh,
up.
maybe I might get it. And you never do. So this particular time, man, this was the rarest case ever. 2 days later, I get a call. And on that call, I'm like, oh, hey. They're like, in 2 weeks, you'll be recording 2 episodes of The Office. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, man. What? This is crazy. And it was like one of the wildest things because it never happens that way, where you just get the call 2 days later. And man, it was like, I was rocking with a director who filmed me in the Bobby Lee project.
Oh, that's right.
So Bobby Lee had a project, and I casted his best friend. And yo, I was so shitty in that, I still owe Bobby back. So when I get my television show, he has to guest star on it because of how shitty I was in the Bobby Lee project for Comedy Central, man. This is not something I'm just saying. Him and I have discussed this.
No, he's that's a generous dude. Like behind the scenes, like he's super nice, super generous. Like,
Yeah.
You talked about it. You're like,
No,
hey,
we both talked about it. He was like, you know you owe me, right? I was like, yeah, man, I got you. I'm gonna get my TV show, man, and I got you on a roll.
He's
right?
hella funny on Reservation Dogs. He was on that really quick, man. He's got a little kind of recurring role. It's funny as fuck though. But yeah, it was funny because Eliana, stepdaughter, she went to help you out over at the Luxor. 'Cause you
right?
got the residency.
Yeah, man, got the residency with AGT. Man, that's been the game changer though. Like I did AGT 2 consecutive seasons. So the first season, man, it was good. Numbers jumped, but then the second season happened, and that's the one that was like, a lot of things happened. Like I got a golden buzzer from Simon.
Yeah.
And the moment this white hand went in the air and hit the buzzer, man. My tickets went crazy.
Really?
They just started selling, and they still do, man, because people validate and they believe in his opinion. So if he believes, oh, this guy is a star, this guy's funny, then so do the people.
Yeah. Well, this is when we were in Miami. This was the effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between that, man, but a lot of the shows, even now, they're still ramping up because a lot of people are seeing things for the first time.
Yeah.
Still off of that, and then you got like the validation from Howie. You know, I hang out with Howie from time to time and go up to his studio and hang with his fam. And then it was Heidi and Sophia at the time. They were just kind of like lightweight flirty and stuff like that, which is great, you know? So then women are like, oh, yeah, okay. He's cool. And I'm telling you, it's been, that experience jumped the tickets a lot.
Yeah.
And it's all business in a beautiful way, and I get it. Like, I believe in, like, my ability or whatever. But now that led me to the Luxor. So working at Luxor to host the AGT show. And Eliana came over, man, and I needed her help, man, because I was selling T-shirts, man. And the thing about it, man, let me tell you this real quick. I was selling T-shirts out that ass. Like, I couldn't even do it alone. So when she came, man, then it ramped up. I'm selling even more. And then, man, it's something about, I don't know, the property. They were looking at me make all this bread. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't even hold it in my pocket. It was like hanging. I was Scrooge fucking McDuck, right?
And growing another leg.
Yeah, it was popping out, and they were like, "Yeah, let's put an end to this."
Let's dial that back.
And they just stopped letting me sell merch, man, with no real reason other than they weren't getting any. I was like, take a cut.
Yeah.
Yo, you can have my right pocket. I'll keep my left pocket.
No shit.
And then they was like, and that was the end of the merch.
Yeah, no, because so she because I was like, yeah, she went out with you, and then she was like, oh yeah, he's on AGT, and then she was watching The Office. And I go, because she was like, I'm a big fan of The Office. I go, are you? And I go, did you know that Mikey's in The Office? She was like, shut the fuck up. And I go, Mikey's in The Office. He's in the lottery. He's in the lottery episode. And she was like, no way. And I was like, the episode where the warehouse wins the lottery and they have to hire a whole new warehouse.
Yeah.
I go, he's part of the orientation. And she was like, no way. And I go and I show her. She's like, oh my god. And then she even blew up even more in her eyes. She was like, oh my god, I work with someone. I was like,
That's
oh yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
I go, there's hella shit that he's done. Watch, I'll show you. And then something too that people don't see that I shouldn't say don't see, but I don't think a lot of people have seen you in a dramatic role, and that's in Pimp. Yeah, and I was like, dude, because I seen it, and I was like, as I'm watching it, I'm like, because you're doing something that you're doing everything I want to do, like what you got, dude. I want a scene where I have a gun, like that's.
Hey man, well, there's a two-parter to that because I want to do more dramas, man. I feel like that's a good fit, especially for comedians. It like works well for us because it forces us to dial back, which I think is good in the acting role.
Yeah.
Whereas comedy, we feel like, oh, gotta be on, gotta hit it, timing, this and that. But in dramatic, you get to sit back, you get to feel, you get to not rush, you know? And then two, man, I held the gun, but I got clowned for not holding the gun the wrong way. I was holding it wrong, apparently, man.
You're pointing at yourself?
Yeah, man. Because they said, man, we getting bucked at, man. They coming at us, right? And I had the gun with two hands like a cop. Like a cop in a 90s movie.
He said it's got a lot of kick.
I was like, Hey, man, it was cool. Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, it's with Keke Palmer. She plays a lesbian pimp, and I'm her best homie in it. And man, that's a recommended watch. It's a really good movie. It's just a good thing. It's cool to watch.
You can find it on streaming. I think I seen it on because it was on, what the fuck was it on? It was on Amazon. I saw it on Amazon.
Yeah, it was on Amazon, maybe Showtime. It's on, it's out there though.
Yeah, because I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I gotta check this out. I gotta watch this. And I was like, he got a gun. I was like, oh man. Because that's like one of the dream roles or dream things that I want to do is like, I definitely want to do a chase scene in the rain with a gun. Like Brad Pitt on Seven. Like, I want to do some shit. What would be do you have a dream scene?
A dream scene?
Like in a flick, like just...
Ooh, dream scene. I haven't thought of it, but right now, man, I think I want to do like, I think I want a romantic comedy, man.
A romantic comedy?
Yo, I want something real back to basics and that's not so much a scene, but when I think about one of the greatest movies that I think about is like anything that Eddie Murphy was in, right?
Yeah.
They're all simple premises. They're just like, everything's so simple and it's like positive for like culture. And it's like, that's what I want, man. I don't have to be in the like, like there's a bunch of trash that I feel like wrecks the community type entertainment that I love.
Yeah.
But I want to be a part of the like.
Well, like Mark Wahlberg's doing it right now, where he's like, I'm not taking any more roles that are like, he's like, I want stuff that only the whole family could watch.
Yeah, see, now he has turned down role money, which I don't quite have that. I still got to be like, all right, I'll be the drug dealer.
No, I want to be the cop, man. I was like, I want to be the cop chasing the serial killer. That'd be dope. But no, I hear you though, especially like on something that's like simple and like, because Eddie Murphy would like, it's simple projects, but he would make it watchable and enjoyable because of the talents that like Metro.
Right,
with Michael Rappaport. Like, it's like all he is just a cop that's all just hanging out talking shit.
I didn't know this until I just watched it because I had seen it when I was a kid, but I never went back and watched it. So I went back and watched Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that Beverly Hills Cop is Rush Hour.
Oh, pretty much, huh?
It's the same thing. And it's the same energy. Like, Chris Tucker is really, like, if you look at it right now, you'd be like, why is Eddie Murphy doing an impression of Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
But then you're like, wait, this was out first.
Yeah.
And it's essentially the same film.
They're coming out with a fourth one.
Yeah, and I like it. I like when people are old in films, man.
Gets
Like,
me old.
yo, I like Bad Boys 3, man, because it was like Will and Martin doing a lot of old jokes.
They're coming out with number 4.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Now, can they do it for 4? Who knows, man? It's the writing.
Yeah.
It's not about them being funny. Martin seems a little shaken, but I think he still can hit his beats.
Yeah,
He was funny in 3 to me. I enjoyed it.
3 is when they're like, when they got the young team now, right? They got younger cats on there trying to. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm a bit like, for me, it's like I'm tired of reboots. I'm tired of like, there's stuff that, like, if you look back at the 80s movies and you're like, those are good movies, which is ridiculous because, like, who would ever make Teen Wolf, Like,
It's great, though.
yeah, Teen Wolf, like, someone comes up with that story, thought, okay, we're going to do a werewolf movie, but he plays basketball and fucking wins, and everyone's okay with it.
It's the greatest movie.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah. It's like, they don't make the stuff like that anymore. They'll make a TV show and it'll be Teen Wolf and it's all dramatic and da-da-da-da, but, like, they don't take chances on scripts like that anymore. So what they do is they make sequels and reboots of stuff we've already seen. So it's like, I'd like to go back. And someone had brought this point up, and it's actually not a bad point. They were talking about how, like, the reason why they don't make movies like that anymore, because studios don't want to take the risk. Because back in the day, studios would take the risk on a movie like that, but still make money on the DVD sales but there's no more DVD sales, and it's all streaming type. And so people don't make as much money as they did on that. So it's like, so we can't have a cult following of a movie anymore. So it has to do good in the theater as soon as it comes out. And on top of that, they keep putting stuff to streaming too that just gets lost in the wayside. Like the movie that's coming out right now that's supposedly that might do good on streaming is the new Roadhouse. Again, a reboot. A rehash. Yeah.
Hey, man, we all have the power to make our own.
Yeah.
And if someone watches it, they can watch it, and then you can still be an artist. And if it's good, maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but my favorite movie when I was a kid, I don't even know if I remember the name of it. So see if you know this, because you're a buff. Right? All right, so, or someone knows it. It was this movie about this guy named Jamie Hankins, right? And he had this car, and he was a street racer. And he was street racing these guys who accidentally, they purposely killed him. They killed him in a street race. So he comes back like
Heavenly Kid. Is that what it is? Is it like, is it?
Maybe, but he comes back and he's dead, and he goes back to avenge all the deaths. Like he kills them all when he comes back as like a dead person or something like that.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that one.
Somebody look that up,
Yeah.
man. His name, I think his name, because that's the only thing I remember. His name was Jamie Hankins. And he had a cool car, and they killed, and it was this cool street race because they was going up these hills, and they was up and down these hills, and that's how the race went. And then something happened, and they just killed this guy. Like for no reason, it was like a group
wonder
of
what movie
the
this is.
bad
Wraith?
guys.
Huh?
The Wraith?
What
The
is
Ring?
it?
The Wraith?
The
The
Ring?
Wraith! The Wraith! That's it! That's what it is!
I want to see a cover of it. Let me see a picture of
Yo,
it.
that's what it was. It was The Wraith. Oh,
That's
man.
hella funny.
I never knew the title, but I knew like if I heard it, I would know what it was. But I'm telling you, that was like my favorite movie. I don't know how many times I watched it. It was just
That's
it
hella
was a little
funny.
eerie, but it was a
Who's in
good
this?
ass movie. I don't even know who was in it.
The Wraith.
Ah man.
And is there a part 2? No.
But yeah, man, it's that thing like you were saying. You young, you watch a movie about a teen wolf
Yeah.
playing basketball. It's the greatest movie. But watching that now, you be like, what
yeah.
the hell is
Big
this?
Trouble in Little China and shit. Oh, look, that's old school. That
Man, look at the cover.
Look at the cover.
Yeah, man, that's some throwback.
There's a movie called Heavenly Kid where like it's a street race, but it's like set in the 50s or some shit. And then
Yeah.
the guy comes back and his girlfriend was pregnant with a kid, so he kind of like helps his son throughout a little bit of life's trials and tribulations and whatever. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh
Heavenly
no,
Kid.
I don't know. If
Yeah, but no,
I've seen that cover before, but I just never cared.
it's
to
one of
watch
those
that.
80s movies like 3 O'clock High. Remember 3 O'clock High?
I don't know.
It was like this dude was like this bully was gonna beat the shit out. It was a dude that was on Stand By Me. He was one of the older kids that was a dick. And but anyways, he's in high school and he bumps into like the new kid that's a fucking crazy bully or whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, matter of fact, they made a remake of it. Who's in it? Ice Cube, right? With Charlie Day.
Oh, that's that movie.
Yeah,
when,
that's the
he goes
remake.
back to. Yeah, he goes back and
3 o'clock high or some shit like that. And they were like, I'm gonna kick your ass at 3 o'clock. And then so the whole day in high school, he's stressing out. They're like,
Yeah.
so I heard you're gonna get your ass kicked at 3 o'clock. Yeah. And the kids has a knife and shit.
Yeah.
Fist fight. Okay, they changed it to call it fist fight. Yeah, there it is.
I remember that.
But before that, yeah, that's the reboot of 3 o'clock high. Yeah, dude. I like the Oscars just came and went. I don't know. Did you watch or anything, or did you look or interested?
Nah, man, I saw clips and I
Yeah.
looked at a few dresses and stuff like that, you know. But as far as like watching it, hold on. Who was? Don't tell me. Tell me. Who's the host? Who hosted?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Got it. Right. That's great.
Yeah.
He's a host. Right.
Have you been to his club over there?
Yeah, I've been over there and I did. I loved it. I've done like 2 sets over there, and
Yeah.
I was looking at it as a potential place to record. Man.
Oh, shit, yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, that'll work, man.
Yeah, it's a nice room, man. Especially like when it's packed, it rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too, like so in like because I was saying with the television show too that you had, it was on Fuse TV, and it lasted for a season.
Yeah, it did, and it's just the stuff of if I knew now what I knew then.
Yeah.
And it was just
Like
things
what?
I didn't get as far as like just continuing on the delivery. Like I could have made that show way funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Like give me that show now, it's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be outdated. No one is watching that type of TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what we were doing was watching clips, and it was just boom, jokes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to as many jokes because I could have delivered them faster, more for TV versus more for like how I would do stand up. Stand up, you like tell a joke, you let it sink in, you find a rhythm, you sit back, boom, you come back. On TV, I think in that situation, I could have just faster,
Just
just
kept
faster,
hitting.
just rapid fire, because they had a lot of jokes. And we didn't use them all, but I just think it was a better approach on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing what they wanted to do versus now I'm like more of on the leader side.
Yeah.
I can say, no, this is what we need to do to make it successful, because I know that at this point because I've just been around so much.
Yeah.
Like I know the funniest version of me, and I get that now, but you don't get that when you're like 8 years in.
Yeah, because you're just like, is this because you give that like they should know what they're talking about. I mean, they're doing this, and then after a while you start realizing, oh wait, you guys don't know what the fuck. You guys never been on a stage. You guys don't know how to
It's
write a
just
joke.
different. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I respect TV minds, like guys
Mm-hmm.
that have done it. I get it, but I just know like we know something too of what will be received.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you too, because I forgot we were talking about it earlier. Are you gonna be leaving? Or how long?
Hey man, so this is interesting. I had a contract. I still do for AGT Live. You know, at the
Yeah.
Luxor, but Man, they just brought us in for this big meeting, and they said the show is shutting down.
What? Oh,
Yeah, man.
shit.
So AGT Superstars Live is leaving.
Oh.
Man, what am I gonna do for money?
Oh, no.
Hell, I need to get booked. Somebody, you looking for a host? Hey, man.
shit.
So yeah, man, I'm gonna be in these streets looking for work.
When is it done?
Mid-May.
Mid-May. Oh, so soon, huh?
Yeah, it's coming up, man.
Okay,
And you
okay.
know, man, I feel bad. It's like a lot of hard work went into it. It was a really incredible production. Many of everyone else, they were like booked to the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is, that's really heartbreaking for, them. I'm going to really miss it. I just have a somewhat different circumstance being more the independent contractor side.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man, because the greatest people, the nicest personalities, the best energy, they just told me to just go, make the show mine, have fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's been nothing but like fond memories. We still got a party coming up,
Yeah.
It's
That'll
all-
work though. Hell yeah.
But yeah,
It was a good experience.
man.
Good thing
it
to get
was
in
a
the mix.
great experience, man. And you got to know just from, to me, I looked at that as a day job.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not something I'm used to, and just having to be at the same spot every day at a certain time. But man, in television and all of this like entertainment, it does end. Sometimes it ends and you got to move on to the next thing. And that's just the nature of this beast.
Dude, it's so crazy that like we're in this industry where it's nothing is guaranteed and nothing is solid.
I know.
So like this whole life, like I'm super thankful for being able to do whatever I can do that I've been doing so far.
Yeah.
And I do have to definitely sit down and be like, yo, I'm mad grateful. Thank you, God, for helping me out and letting me do just the things that you're letting me do.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. And like you said too, it's like shit ends, and I gotta be. And being in this business so far this long and being okay with it, I've gotten better at being okay with that. Because at first, dude, it's very everything that's in our brains and our parents tell us, and everyone that tells us, hey man, you need something reliable, dog. You got a family.
Right.
You got this and you got that. It's like, yeah, but
Imagine that, though. You're just like, we're in this thing where nothing's guaranteed. We don't know if tomorrow it ends. And then you take on a family?
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like you're
They're supposed to believe in you? In your little silly-ass dreams? Like, yo, for real?
Yo, dumbass thoughts gonna get us paid. How the fuck?
Man, that's wild. That's really wild.
Yeah, no, and it's like, it's scary too. That's why for the longest time, dude, that's why I've been single for the longest time. But then like, it was very hard for me because I was like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay if I fuck up. I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna figure it out. But now that I was like, okay, now I guess I can be with somebody, and I was like, I'm gonna let him know though. Hey, sometimes some shit ain't all good. But then like, I'm lucky that I found a partner too that's like, that's okay. We're in it together, and like I believe in you. And I agree. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Entertainment is wild, man. I told my lady, man, that I gotta reach next level. I think I might need a celebrity relationship. Hey man, you gotta do something, man, next level, and you gotta get in these blogs.
I would have loved to see her face. She'd have been like, okay, your jokes.
Man,
you're done with that.
Yeah, man, it's wild.
But yeah, it's just a trip, man, because it's like you said too, everything just ends, and you got to figure out how to be okay with that and the rejection. And it's funny because like the rejection after a while, like it doesn't even phase anymore. Like it doesn't. It's like, it's all right, man.
Question about that. All right, man. So does that affect your anything else in your life?
No.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Because it does me, man.
It does you?
So this rejection that's happened all these years has made me very numb to a lot of emotion.
Oh, really?
So if I'm empathetic, it's because I'm actively attempting to know that that's what a person is supposed to do versus it being my natural
instinct. 'Cause
Interesting. I have seen so much, like the funniest stuff doesn't make me laugh. But that's just because we've seen so much.
Yeah.
Now I can laugh and I can appreciate, but it's just different. So in other aspects of my life, man, I'm like, it's made me numb in many ways. So I do therapy.
Yeah.
And I do it every week, and I'm just trying to see how do I connect more with my inner self. I want to feel emotion
Get you.
feel. And so that's what I've been trying to do, man, because I've been like, icy,
Interesting.
man. Like I've been
So-
a little too cold. Then I think
So the
a person
rejection
should
has
be-
gotten to the point where like you shut it off to the point you actually shut it off too well, too many things altogether.
I'm not phased when I don't get anything.
Yeah.
You know, and
for
it's
me,
just,
for me, the way it worked for me, like, and the way like it doesn't phase me, but I still connect or try or am connecting is because of because for me because of recovery, and which is a form of therapy which I've been doing now for almost 12 years now. And I remember my sponsor telling me something, and it really related to a lot of stuff in my life. Was like, he goes, he just told me this really quick story about like, because I was getting pissed off about things, and he goes, like, because like I lost his gig. He was like, did you really lose that gig, or did you ever have it? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, in order for you to lose something, that means you've had it. It was yours, but then you lost it. He goes, but did you ever? Was it yours? I go, no. And he goes, well, then why are you worried about it if it never was yours? He goes, let me tell you a story. He goes, so this guy was sitting down at the house, and he gets a phone call, and it says, hey man, this is Radio Rob, and you won a brand new Cadillac. And he's like, oh great, yeah, I want to. He's like, all right, is your name Carlos Rodriguez? Like, yeah, my name's Carlos Rodriguez. Okay, cool. Well, just stay on the line. We're gonna get some more information for you to send you your car. And then he goes, all right, Carlos Rodriguez. So you're Carlos Rodriguez from South Carolina, right? And it's like, no, I'm from California. Oh, we're sorry, man. This is for South Carolina, Carlos Rodriguez. And hang on. He said, now you can look at it one or two ways. You lost that Cadillac, or it was never yours to begin with. And he goes, and once you start figuring out how to look at things that way, and I was like, okay, you're right. That was never in my possession. I never had it. So why do I call it mine? Like, and so I may have went up for it and I didn't get it, but it never was mine, and it's like, maybe something like I had to understand that. That was another thing too. I had to really, really come to terms with like, hey, God will give me what I need and not what I want. And do I really want that? I really don't want it, because I heard like this gig now it's 3 months in the snow,
Yeah,
or it's night shoots, and it's like, do I really? Yeah, you know what I mean. So a lot of that stuff has starting to come into play where it's like I said, within the years of passing over, I was like, oh. The rejection doesn't hurt anymore, or doesn't bother me, because like I don't even look at the rejections anymore. I just look at the things that I got, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Like this was mine.
That
This is like,
adds up.
Yeah.
I know what I want though. I want it to not be something sad, and I want to cry. I want to cry, man.
Yeah.
Like on some like positive stuff. Like I don't want nothing sad to happen for it to happen. And I know this, man, because the edible, the OD I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When I overdosed, man, it was actually exceptional. When I blacked out and lost a lot of memory, it was on edibles.
Okay.
I did too many edibles, man. It was like my first experience. I didn't know it was a THC soda. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to drink the whole thing. It was like 100 milligrams or something, right? So it was crazy. And then during the course of that, it lasted, I don't know, like 5 or 6 hours, man. And I did a lot during that. Like I went to hell. I was chilling with my lady, man. She started interrogating me, man. I started confessing shit. Everything that shouldn't have happened, man.
Yeah.
But one of the things that happened that was the best thing is I cried.
Yeah.
And I let out everything, and it was like, yo, this is
Cleansing.
what your body is made for.
Yeah.
You're supposed to cry.
Yeah.
Like men, man, we all like on the macho, hold it in, gotta be strong for everybody else. But man, I'm telling you, that was one of the best feelings I've ever had. And I just want to do that again, but I don't want it to be something tragic.
Yeah.
I just want it to be on come on, body, cry.
You know what's funny is you say that, and I tend to do that now, where it's like I'm not sad. I'm just like I appreciate life a lot more. And if I think about that a lot, I'll start to like tear up and ball up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, I appreciate I'm just so happy and so thankful that I didn't end up dying in the neighborhood group, or I didn't fucking, become a drug addict and fall by the wayside. And then all the cool things that I did accomplish and all the travels. And I start to think about that. And I start to think about like other people are like, dude, I started flipping out, because like what happened when I first started getting sober is I for the first, because like you said, you hold it all in. And I remember being at a meeting, and I couldn't even say my name. Like, hi, I'm Carlos, an alcoholic, or hi, I'm Carlos, an addict, because I would break. And my sponsor told me, he goes, he said, he goes, you know why you're crying, or why you're, and I go, why? He goes, because your soul hears something that it needs. So it's finally coming out. He goes, that's your soul, like, you know, just getting its nourishment, getting its so it needs to push out that negative or sad feelings. And he goes, and you're gonna start getting, you know, filled up with good stuff and good thoughts, and sooner or later it's not gonna be tears of emotion, it's gonna be tears of overjoyed. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah. He goes, have you ever cried tears of joy? And I go, no. And he goes, you will, and it's gonna be crazy because you're gonna be like, why am I crying for it? But you're not sad. He goes, you're just, you know.
Like, hey man, so there's two things, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I want to know. Are there films?
Yes.
'Cause there's film, like, if I watch that one scene on Remember the Titans, you know, when the black and the white people start getting along, man,
Yeah.
yo, man, I start to feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I need more of those so I could just dive into, like, yeah, man, I want to cry. Like, I want to watch some stuff. And I know there's movies I haven't seen that seeing them for the first time, you could probably do it. Like, lately, man, I've been watching, like, some Bill Lawrence. Like, if you watch anything that he produced, it's going to have, like, an emotional side. So, Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ted
they got a
Lasso,
lot of that in it. But, man, I just thought of something, man. And
Reservation Dogs for me too. That was another
yo,
one.
man, this is something personal
Yeah.
that only you know. This is so crazy, man. So, you know this shit. And I know you were there. And this shit was hard, man. It was me and my lady going through the shit we've been going through forever to, like, the hardest. It was, like, one of the worst. And I, like, left, stole the truck, you know, dipped out the house. And I don't know, I hit you up or something. I don't know if you had something or I had a key or something. And I came to your crib somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think I was crying, man.
Yeah.
I had never cried in front of, like, anybody because the shit was so hard. And I just didn't know what I was going to do, like, in life. And I just remember, like,
you know what's funny? I never talked about that. I never spoke about that. Because I remember you did that. You called me up to pick you up, and I went and picked you up, and I brought you to the house.
is that what happened?
Yeah, and I came and because you guys were in an argument, and then you're like, I just need to get out of here, and I went and picked you up, and it was just so random because I was like, Mikey called me, and he was like, you must trust me, and doesn't think I was like, so I got to keep that trust and never talk about this again, which I never did.
Yeah.
And I remember you coming to the house, and I remember you just sitting on the couch, and this was back when I lived on 23rd and O, and I was like, and you started tearing up, started crying as you're telling me the story, and I was like, oh man, no worries, man, just chill, and it was funny because I knew I was your friend, and I was like, oh, now he knows I'm his friend, because I always knew I was your boy, and you're my boy, because I was like, you know, from when I first met you, we were doing stand up, and then kind of like in and out, and then I remember one time because I was like, this was before that happened, and I was helping you sell shirts in Santa Rosa. And you were gonna give me money because I helped you sell shirts, and I was like, no, dude, like I don't want your money. I was like, I'm your friend, and I was like, I don't think he understood that then, but I think he understands that now. And then I think so. Ever since that point, like I was like, yeah, it was like, okay, cool. He knows, and if he doesn't know yet, he will know one day, and he'll look back on this and yada yada yada.
Those are just moments through the thick of this whole shit, man. Because it's like it's entertainment. And we're humans.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole course of it. And I just remember, like, I've never said it out loud because who was I going to say that to, you know?
Yeah.
But it popped in my head and I was like, wow, that was a time, man. You know? And I was thinking about, like, you're at such a great place of where you are now. So to start what you're about to start, as far as, like, relationship, you're at the right time.
Yeah.
Of who you are versus imagine if you did the same thing, I don't know, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. And I wouldn't be the man or the person that I would be liked or wanted to be with. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so it's like
absolutely.
I feel like now I'm like with me and my girl, like I'm fun. We have fun. We talk shit. We have a good time. Like, and even like when like the sickness and health thing, she just had her wisdom teeth pulled, so she was all her face was all swollen and she was all dizzed out. She was all upset. She was like, I don't look pretty. I'm like, it's all good. Like you're fine, and I'm gonna take care of you, and you don't have to worry that I'm solid now. Like I'm not gonna. You know, I'm not looking to, like, I can't wait to leave when this bitch fucking finally gets rested up. I can just be out of here. But and like you said too, so you showed her you showed your girl the video.
Oh yeah, right, man. Because when I first saw it, I was like, hey man, I think I messaged you right back. I was like, yo, this is pretty romantic, man. So when I didn't show it to her until like the day before we, you know, were filming this, and And she was like, oh, she was like feeling all that. And I was like, I know, man, I know. And it was kind of cool, man. Like, I think, like, let's just say this. Like, I'm not going to say I know, like, how old you are and anything like that. But,
No, you can't.
But no, I don't think no man should get married in his 20s.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, it's not smart. I wouldn't advise any of my children to do that. It's just not a wise move in America. If you grow up in another culture system,
Yeah.
and she's from another, I don't know, where things are, I don't know, approached differently, then maybe consider it.
Yeah.
But I think in American culture, men shouldn't even consider marriage until they're in their mid-40s.
Yeah. I didn't start growing up until 30. I didn't start growing up until yeah.
We have to get ourselves together in more ways than financial. Financial's huge.
Yeah.
It matters. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff we just have to get under control first. And I'm not just talking about smashing women. It's not that. I'm just saying, like, as a human, you got to understand yourself so you don't wreck somebody else's life.
Yeah.
And you have a high chance to do that.
When you're 20, when you're
Still
a 20
trying
year
to
old
figure
dude.
out who you are.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Because that was the thing too. I remember, like, especially like even like I guess we could say it as how we write jokes. Like I was always telling people, I know how to write for 23-year-old Carlos. I know how to write those jokes. Like, I could write a whole hour right now, but that's not who I am, and I don't want to represent that. Then when I became 30 years old, I knew how to write for 25-year-old Carlos. And when I was 35, I knew how to write for 30-year-old Carlos. So it's kind of like all this. But then after a while, I started getting to the point where 40-year-old Carlos can write for 40-year-old Carlos, and I was like, and that's where I'm like, oh, I like this, and I'm enjoying it. So everything I'm coming out with is like the excitable stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I finally caught up with my writing and my age. And that's how I feel like too when you're a kid and you're trying to get married or I don't know, trying to like have a relationship. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, I don't even know who I'm going to be in 6 months. I don't know who Carlos at 23 years old in 6 months is going to be. If he's just going to fuck around and want to be spontaneous and just bounce and go to Japan for some fucking reason.
Yeah, yeah, that's a tricky one, man. But there's people. I'm a weird. It's weird, man, for me to even say that. Because there's many that might see me in the light of success, right? They might see that. I also was married in my 20s, like early 20s, which gave me a lot to write about. It gave me a lot of substance. It did give me that early on.
And contextualize with older people too, because they're like, I am married too.
Right. So I related on like a lot of different just angles, really. But I don't know, man. I just think about not understanding so much that it had impact in the house. Like, even though I was mad all the time and I was mad at her and all that turned into was amazing content, it still wasn't a healthy life.
Yeah.
You know,
Got
man?
you.
Like, it wasn't.
With that being said about, like you said, the rejection and stuff like that and making numb. So do you? So you say that? You think you're prone more to being depression?
No. Like, I wake up smiling. Like, I stay in a joyful. Well, that's just my spirit, man. I just think I got energy, and it keeps me there.
Yeah.
And then I have things to motivate me at all times. I'm always chasing the next joke, or I'm chasing like how to make these kids great in life. Like, what do they need, And then, like, I want to see her happy too. I feel like that takes energy. And then I just want to see good energy in the world, man.
Yeah.
So I don't really, no, not so much depression. I just don't have like much reaction, and I feel bad when I'm talking to people sometimes and I'm not giving a lot.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if anybody knows me, I'm doing more of the listening. I'm normally just kind of chilling, man. Like, and not that I'm not into the conversations and stuff. I just,
it's funny though, but that's great that you like you're talking about the whole mental health aspect too, because that's the thing that like, not let alone men, but like comics don't really. They're starting to do it now a lot more, but I don't think. it's not in the place of like, oh, feel sorry for me. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get better so I can be better, so I can be better at right. It's funny because like we want to be better mental healthily. We want to be better mentally so we can be a better comedian. I feel like like that's the only reason why I did it. I was like because my sponsor had told me one thing that changed my whole shit about this. I'd have kept drinking and doing drugs, and he said he went and seen a set, and he goes, "You're funny," and I go, "Thanks." He goes, You're funny. You want to know why you're funny? I go, why? And he goes, because you see a lot of truth. And he goes, I'm gonna tell you something right now you're not gonna believe, but you're gonna be a better comedian than you ever were if you're sober compared to when you're drunk and like that. And I go, well, how do you figure? He goes, because you talk a lot of truth. And what better way to see truth than with clear eyes? And I was like, fucking sold.
I'll do it for the art.
Yeah.
Anything for the art.
Boom. All right, well, we're going to wrap that up, man. I'm glad that you get to be here till May. So, I mean, you can come back and fuck around, yeah?
Hey, man, absolutely.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, do you want to shout out to where you might be afterwards or anything like that?
Man, I got San Francisco Punchline coming up. I'm going to be at the Port in Baltimore. I'm going to do a full-on fall to winter tour of a bunch of cities that everyone can find at bigassteeth.com or MikeWinfield.com. You can go there. It's the same place, and that'll get you to all the social media. And I got to say this.
No.
Mike'sGlasses.com if you want some glasses. Yeah, man, I wore these on AGT, and now I sell different shades, and people want to buy them, and I'm the company.
That'll work.
To get you some retro, clear, or shaded frames glasses.
That'll work. You guys, thanks for joining us, and thanks, Mikey, for being here.
Thank you.
Man. So everybody have a dope day.